The rain hammered the rusted tin roof like fists of judgment. Each drop a reminder that secrets couldn't stay buried in a town like Harlan, Kansas. Aiden's heart slammed against his ribs as Noah's truck skidded to a halt outside the derelict garage on the edge of the cornfields, headlights slicing through the storm like accusatory blades. "Get out!" Noah snarled, his voice cracking like thunder, eyes wild with a betrayal that cut deeper than any knife. Aiden's whispered confession of loving another man now twisted into the ultimate sin between twins who'd shared every breath since the womb. Noah's grip on the steering wheel whitened his knuckles, the dashboard clock glowing 2:17 a.m. like a guilty verdict. "You're my brother, Aiden. My blood. But this ain't us." Dad would roll in his grave. He shoved the door open, dragging Aiden by the collar into the mud-slicked gravel, where the neon sign flickered Riley's Auto Repair. "We fix what breaks." A lie that hid the real business. A backroom hell for broken boys like him, peddled by a snake oil preacher with a wrench instead of a Bible. Aiden stumbled, the cold rain soaking through his thin flannel shirt, chilling the fire of humiliation burning in his chest. Harlan was the kind of forgotten Midwest speck where football Fridays lit up the single stoplight, and Sunday sermons warned of eternal flames for anything that strayed from the straight and narrow. The twins, Noah and Aiden Hargrove, had been the town's golden boys, captain of the high school team and his shadow, inseparable since their mom walked out when they were 5, leaving Dad to raise them on Budweiser and Bible verses. At 22, they were still crashing on the sagging couch of their childhood home, scraping by on Noah's mechanic gigs and Aiden's shifts at the diner, dreaming of escaping to the lights of Kansas City. But dreams had a way of shattering like cheap diner plates. It started 2 nights ago, after a double shift that left Aiden bone-tired and buzzed on stolen sips from the cook's flask. He'd come home to find Noah hunched over a box of Dad's old Polaroids, the ones from their Little League days, grins wide and gap-toothed. Aiden had meant to keep it locked down, the way he'd locked down every stolen glance at the new barista, Eli, with his ink-sleeved arms and laugh like summer thunder. But the whiskey loosened his tongue, and in the dim lamplight, Aiden let it spill. "Noah, I think I'm gay. Like, for real. There's this guy." Noah's face had drained of color faster than milk curdling in the heat. The photo album hit the floor with a thud, scattering images of their shared innocence like confetti from a funeral. "What the fuck did you just say?" Noah's voice was a low growl, the kind that echoed their father's rages before the cancer took him. Aiden froze, the words hanging heavy as the humid Kansas air. He'd braced for shock, maybe questions, but not this. Not the way Noah's eyes hardened into twin voids, mirroring the hatred Aiden had glimpsed in the pulpit's fire and brimstone rants. "You're lying. Tell me you're drunk and messing with me." Noah lunged forward, grabbing Aiden's shoulders, shaking him like a faulty engine. Aiden's denial died on his lips. The truth was a weight he'd carried alone for years, hidden behind broad smiles and bone-crushing tackles on the field. "It's not a phase, Noah. It's me." The slap came swift, a crack that split the air and Aiden's lip, copper blooming on his tongue. Noah recoiled, hand trembling, but the damage was done. "We fixed this. Now." That's how they ended up here, under the relentless downpour, Noah pounding on the garage's side door like a man possessed. The rain masked Aiden's sobs, but nothing could drown the terror clawing up his throat. The door creaked open, revealing preacher Riley himself, 50-something, grease-streaked overalls over a collared shirt, Bible tucked in his tool belt like a holstered gun. his eyes lit on Aiden with predatory glee, the kind that promised salvation through suffering. "Brother Hargrove," Riley drawled, his southern twang out of place in Kansas flatlands, a transplant from Alabama tent revivals. "Brought me astray, have ya? What's the trouble this time?" Noah shoved Aiden forward, water sluicing off them both. He's got the devil in him. Thinks he's one of them queers. Fix him, Riley. Like you did for my cousin last summer. Aiden's stomach lurched. He'd heard the whispers about Riley's men's retreats, weekend lock-ins in the garage's back bays, where prayer met punishment. Emerging men straightened out with bruised egos and fractured spirits. No one talked about the ones who didn't come back the same. Riley's smile was all teeth, yellowed like old corn silk. "The Lord's workshop, son. We strip down the sin, rebuild from the frame up. $500, cash. He's yours in 7 days, good as factory new." Noah didn't hesitate, peeling damp bills from his wallet, the emergency stash for their escape fund. Aiden's plea, "Noah, please, don't do this," was swallowed by the storm as rough hands hauled him inside, the door slamming shut like a coffin lid. The garage smelled of motor oil and mildew, fluorescent bulbs buzzing overhead like angry hornets. Aiden was stripped to his boxers in a concrete alcove, shivering not just from cold but from the violation of it all. Riley's assistants, 2 burly ex-cons with crosses tattooed on their knuckles, bound his wrists with zip ties to a sawhorse, the wood biting into his skin. "First lesson," Riley intoned, holding up a leather strap etched with Bible verses, "is denial. You deny the flesh. You deny the lie." The first lash landed across Aiden's back, a white-hot stripe that arched him off the bench. He bit down on a rag they stuffed in his mouth, tasting oil and his own blood from the split lip. Noah's truck roared away outside, taillights fading into the night, abandoning him to this mechanical purgatory. Hours blurred into a haze of pain and psalms chanted like curses. By dawn, Aiden's world narrowed to the drip of a leaky faucet and the echo of his own muffled screams. He'd always thought betrayal was a word for strangers, not the face that matched his own in the mirror. Days bled into one another under Riley's regime. Mornings started with ice-cold hoses blasting away the night's temptations, leaving Aiden's skin raw and mottled. Afternoons were reconditioning. Hours strapped to a chair in front of flickering VHS tapes of straight porn looped with sermons on Sodom's fall, the contrast twisting his gut like a wrench on a bolt. "Feel that pull," Riley would leer, pressing a thumb into Aiden's temple. "That's the devil fighting. Fight back, boy." Evenings brought the group sessions. 5 other projects huddled in a circle on oil-stained mats, sharing fabricated sins under threat of the strap. There was Tommy, a 17-year-old runaway with track marks from city influences, and Marcus, a college dropout whose dad paid double for discretion. Aiden kept his head down, forging a fragile armor from silence. But cracks formed. On the 3rd night, as the others snored in their chain-linked cots, he caught Marcus watching him, not with judgment, but a quiet solidarity that sparked in the dark. Marcus was from Wichita, broad-shouldered with a fade haircut and eyes like polished obsidian, in for looking too long at the locker room. Their first real words came over smuggled cigarettes behind the parts shed. "This place is bullshit," Marcus muttered, exhaling smoke into the chain-link fence. "They think they can hammer us straight like bent fenders." Aiden nodded, the drag burning his lungs like confession. "My own brother did this to me. Said it was for my own good. The words hung heavy, and Marcus's hand brushed his, a fleeting anchor in the storm. From there, stolen moments bloomed, whispers under the guise of Bible study, fingers linking in the shadows of tool racks. Marcus called it the real fix, his touch a bomb against the welts. For the first time, Aiden felt seen, not as Noah's shadow or Harlan's prodigal son, but as himself, raw, desiring, alive. Yet the idol shattered on day 5. Riley caught them mid-embrace, his bellow echoing off the rafters like a starter pistol. Sodom's spawn. The beating was merciless. Aiden curled on the concrete as boots and belts rained down. Marcus dragged away screaming his name. They separated them after that. Aiden chained to a drainpipe in solitary, the darkness his only companion. Bruises bloomed purple across his ribs. But worse was the ache of loss, not just Marcus, but the fragile hope he dared to nurture. Noah's betrayal festered like an untreated wound. How could blood turn so venomous? By week's end, Aiden emerged hollowed, spine straight from survival's forge. Riley signed him out with a paternal pat, pocketing Noah's follow-up check. You're mended, son. Don't let the rust set in. Staggering into the sunlight, Aiden hitched back to Harlan, each step a mile marker on the road to nowhere. The house was empty, Noah's truck gone, another shift, or fleeing the ghost of his deed. Aiden collapsed on the porch, the screen door creaking like an apology. In the quiet, he traced the scars on his arms, invisible to the eye but etched in his soul. Harlan's church bells tolled noon, a mocking call to normalcy. But normal was a lie, and Aiden Hargrove was done pretending. He didn't see Noah for 3 days. The twin returned reeking of bourbon and regret, collapsing into the kitchen chair with a six-pack and a half-hearted, "Where you been?" Aiden's laugh was bitter, a shard of glass in the air. "Where do you think? The garage. Your $500 miracle." Noah's face crumpled, but pride welded it shut. "It was for us, Aiden. For the family name." Dad's dead," Aiden cut in, voice steel. "And so's whatever we had if you can't look at me without seeing a freak." The argument escalated, plates shattering, words weaponized until Noah stormed out, tires spinning gravel into accusations. Aiden stayed, nursing wounds with ice packs and Eli's number scrawled on a napkin from the diner. He didn't call, not yet. Trust was an engine with a blown gasket, leaking hope. Little did he know, the real breakdown was coming. 2 weeks later, Harlan buzzed with the accident. Noah's truck wrapping around an oak on Route 54, a storm-fueled skid after a bar fight turned ugly. The ER called Aiden at dawn. Voice clinical. "Your brother's critical. Internal bleeding. We need O-negative family donor." Stat. Aiden's blood ran cold. Irony's cruel hook. Twins shared more than faces. Their type matched. Veins intertwined by birth. The hospital loomed on the horizon, a monolith of mercy and memory. As Aiden grabbed his keys, Marcus's face flickered in his mind, a reminder that survival wasn't solitary. But blood called to blood, demanding payment. The hospital's automatic doors whooshed open like hesitant lungs, swallowing Aiden into a world of antiseptic sting and beeping monitors. Mercy General was Harlan's lifeline, a squat brick building on the outskirts where farmers came for stitches and prayers. Aiden's boots squeaked on linoleum, each step echoing the thud of his pulse. Nurses parted like the Red Sea, their glances a mix of pity and curiosity. The Hargrove twins, Town's darlings, now fractured icons of tragedy. Room 214. ICU, the charge nurse murmured, clipping a visitor badge to his shirt. He's stable for now, but the bleed's bad. Surgeons prepping for transfusion. Aiden nodded numbly, the corridor stretching endless, fluorescent lights casting long shadows that danced like Riley's strap. Memories assaulted him. Noah teaching him to ride a bike on this very county road. Knees scraped but laughter-free. Noah defending him from bullies in 3rd grade. Fists flying for Four Eyes Hargrove. Blood had bound them then, scrapes and shared band-aids. Now, it might unmake him. He paused at the door, glass panel fogged with breath. Noah lay inside, a pale specter under crisp sheets, tubes snaking from arms to machines that whispered life in mechanical tones. Tubes for blood they'd siphon out, machines that judged worth by volume. Aiden's hand trembled on the knob. Forgiveness wasn't a switch, but refusal, that was death. And he'd be damned if he let hate claim another piece of his heart. The phlebotomist was waiting, a no-nonsense woman named Carla with laugh lines etched deep. You the brother? Oneg? God's little joke. Twins like that. She prepped his arm with efficient swipes, needle glinting like accusation. He asked for you, you know. In the ambulance. Tell Aiden. Sorry. The prick was sharp, but nothing to the twist in Aiden's gut. Sorry. One word. Too small for the chasm. As the bag filled crimson, Aiden's mind wandered to the garage's ghosts. Marcus, where was he now? Released a day before, shipped back to Wichita with warnings and wariness. Their last touch, a squeezed hand through bars, had been a promise, find me when this ends. We're not broken. They're the tools. Aiden had nodded, but escape seemed a fever dream. Now, with Noah's life in his veins, that promise felt like chains. The transfusion room was a limbo of beige walls and outdated magazines, the drip steady as a metronome. Carla chatted to fill the silence. Small-town gossip about the diner burning its hash browns again, but Aiden heard none. His phone buzzed. Eli. Heard about Noah. You okay? Coffee after? Aiden's thumb hovered. A bridge to normalcy. Eli was uncomplicated. Tattoos telling stories of lost loves and reclaimed ink. Eyes that saw Aiden's cracks without judgment. Their first kiss had been in the diner's walk-in. Flour-dusted and fervent, tasting of pie crust and possibility. But Noah's shadow loomed, eclipse on every spark. By evening, Noah stirred, color creeping back into cheeks that mirrored Aiden's own. The doctor, a harried man with coffee stains on his scrubs, gave the all-clear. Your brother's blood saved him. Irony of ironies. Aiden sat vigil, chair creaking under him, watching Noah's eyelids flutter. When they opened, it was like staring into a funhouse mirror. Same blue eyes, now rimmed red with pain and shame. Aiden, Noah's voice was gravel, hand twitching toward the fore. You came. Someone had to pump the poison back in. The words slipped out barbed. But Aiden softened, squeezing the bed rail. Doc said it's touch and go without the match. Guess we're stuck with each other. Noah winced, not from the ribs but the weight. The accident. I was pissed. At myself. Drove like hell after closing down O'Malley's. Punched some redneck spouting Bible shit about us. No, about you. He swallowed, throat bobbing. I sent you there to fix me, not you. Thought if you changed, Dad's ghost would shut up in my head. Aiden's throat tightened, tears pricking unbidden. Dad's ghost is just your guilt, Noah. And Riley, that wasn't fixing, that was breaking. I met someone there, Marcus. He got it, the real me. But you're my twin. Doesn't that count for something? Noah's fingers sought his, a tentative bridge over the abyss. It counts for everything. I'm sorry, Aid. For the garage. For the slap. For making you feel like you were the problem. The apology cracked open, spilling years of unspoken fears. Noah's own buried doubts. The pressure of being the man of the house. The terror of losing his anchor to the unnatural. They talked through the morphine haze, Noah confessing stolen glances at teammates he chalked up to locker room stuff. Aiden sharing Eli's laugh and the ache of hidden kisses. Dawn painted the room gold when Noah slept again. Grip loose but lingering. Aiden slipped out for air. The hospital garden a tangle of wilted roses and chain-smoker benches. He dialed Marcus first. Voicemail beeping soft. It's Aiden. I'm out. Noah's. Complicated, but alive. Find me, then Eli, yeah. Coffee sounds like salvation. Harlan unfolded around him as he drove home. Fields whispering secrets to the wind. The house felt less tomb-like. Sunlight slanting through dust motes like forgiveness. Aiden showered off the hospital chill. Scars fading under hot water, a map of survival. Eli arrived at noon, bearing lattes and a tentative smile. His presence a warm front against the storm. They talked on the porch swing. Aiden unspooling the garage's horrors. Eli listening with the quiet fury of an ally. You're brave as hell, Eli said, thumb tracing Aiden's knuckles. And hot when you're fierce. Their kiss was slow, reclaiming space stolen by fear. But peace was fleeting. That afternoon, a knock rattled the door. Preacher Riley, hat in hand, eyes darting like a cornered rat. Heard about your brother. Miracle of the blood. Lord's work. His grin soured as Aiden blocked the threshold. Come to collect, son. That therapy needs follow-ups. Group rate for twins now. Aiden's blood, freshly given, boiled. Get off my porch, you fraud. Or I'll tell the whole damn town what you do in that workshop of yours. Riley blustered, quoting Leviticus. But Aiden's voice rose, raw and resonant, drawing neighbors' curtains twitching. The preacher slunk away, tail between legs, but the encounter lit a fuse. Aiden called Marcus again, voicemail. Desperation gnawed. He needed to know if the spark survived. Noah came home 2 days later, propped on crutches, the truck totaled but spirit limping back. They navigated the awkward dance of codependence. Aiden cooking Ken's soup, Noah cracking jokes about learning to walk straight. Finally, cracks mended slowly, apologies layered like coats of paint over rot. One night, beers cracked on the couch. Noah pulled out Dad's old album. Remember this? Us at the state fair. Winning that stupid pig scramble. Laughter bubbled. Genuine. Thawing the ice. Yet undercurrents swirled. Eli became a fixture. His motorcycle rumbling up the drive. Tattoos peeking from rolled sleeves as he helped Noah with PT stretches. Noah watched. Wary at first. Who's the ink factory? But warming to Eli's easy banter. The way he made Aiden light up like harvest moon. He's good for you, Noah admitted one evening, as Eli revved away. Better than that garage bullshit. Aiden nodded, but doubt lingered. Marcus's silence echoed louder than words. On impulse, He drove to Wichita, 3 hours of flatlands blurring by, radio crooning Johnny Cash laments. The address was a rundown duplex near the university, Marcus's mom answering with wary eyes. He lit out after. That place. Said something about California, chasing dreams. Aiden's heart sank. A stone in the river. On the dashback, tears blurred the taillights. Love's first casualty. Collateral in the war for self. Back in Harlan, crisis brewed anew. Noah's fever spiked overnight. Infection from the crash sites gnawing at his sutures. The ER loomed again, but this time, doctors shook heads. His body's rejecting the meds. Needs a specialist, Kansas City's got one. But transport's risky without stabilizing blood levels. Aiden's veins itched. The call of kinship inescapable. As he rolled up his sleeve once more, Noah gripped his wrist. Don't. You've given enough. But Aiden did. The needles bite a vow. In the quiet hours, with Noah sleeping, he texted Eli, staying the night. Miss you. Reply, miss you more. We're in this. Yeah. For the first time, Aiden felt the threads weaving, not just blood, but choice, love, the messy human knot. Weeks passed in a rhythm of recovery. Noah's limp fading, Aiden's shifts at the diner yielding to community college applications, Eli's hand steady in his. They built a fragile normal barbecues in the yard, Noah grilling burgers while Eli spun yarns about his Navy days, tattoos mapping old wounds. One evening, as fireflies danced, Noah pulled Aiden aside. I get it now. The garage was my fear talking. Yours. It's real. And I want in on the real you. All of it. The hug was fierce. Twins reclaiming orbit. But Harlan's underbelly stirred. Riley's flyers cropped up. Men's renewal retreat. Fix your frame. And whispers linked Noah's crash to a bar brawl over defending family honor. Aiden's resolve hardened. Silence was complicity. With Eli's encouragement, he penned a letter to the Harlan Gazette. Anonymous at first, the garage of shame, what hides behind the tools. It ran buried on page 6, but rippled. Calls flooded the house. Tommy's mom thanking tears. Marcus's voicemail finally beeping. Saw the article. That you? I'm in LA. Bartending at a spot called The Anchor. Come west. We got unfinished business. Aiden's pulse raced. West a siren call. But Noah? Eli? The ties tugged. Autumn swept Harlan like a reluctant lover. Leaves turning gold and crimson against the endless blue skies. But the chill in Aiden's bones lingered from deeper frosts. Noah's recovery plateaued into routine. Crutches swapped for a cane. Shifts back at the auto shop minus the bottle. The brothers fell into an uneasy harmony. Evenings spent on the porch with thermoses of coffee. Dissecting Dad's ghost like mechanics under the hood. He loved us fierce, Noah said one dusk. Rocking the swing. Just didn't know how to bend. Aiden sipped. Steam curling like unspoken truths. Love shouldn't break people. Noah. That's what Riley peddled. Straight lines only. The article had stirred hornets. The Gazette follow-up exposed Riley's retreats as unlicensed torture. Citations piling like unpaid bills. The preacher vanished overnight. Garage padlocked. A victory bittersweet as ash. Tommy reunited with his folks. Tearful apologies over potluck pie. Marcus's call opened a vein of possibility. LA's glamour a far cry from cornstalk prisons. Eli anchored the days. His presence a steady hum. They stole moments in the diner's back booth after close, fingers laced under formica, whispers trading dreams. "You ever think about leaving?" Eli asked one night, his breath warm against Aiden's ear, the scent of espresso and ink intoxicating. Kansas City's got queer nights, art scenes. We could build something. Aiden's heart swelled, but roots ran deep. Noah's just getting steady. And your life's here, tattoos and all. Eli's designs told tales. A phoenix on his forearm for a coming-out blaze, anchors for lost shipmates. Their romance was tentative fire, kisses in truck cabs, hands exploring under starlit fields, but Aiden held back, scars whispering caution. Marcus's voice echoed, unfinished business. Guilt gnawed. Was love a zero-sum game? Noah noticed the drift. Over breakfast, burnt toast and regret, Noah prodded. "You and Eli seem solid. But you're miles away sometimes. That garage crap's still messing with your head." Aiden deflected, but Noah pressed, twin intuition sharp as a socket wrench. "It's that Marcus guy, ain't it? From the voicemail. You pining for California dreams." The admission spilled like oil. Aiden's heart a divided engine, revving for Eli's steadiness and Marcus's wild spark. Noah listened. No judgment this time, just a nod. "Go see him. Closure or whatever. I'll hold the fort." It was permission, brotherly absolution. Aiden booked a Greyhound ticket that afternoon, stomach knotted tighter than bootlaces. The bus ride to L.A. was an odyssey of heartland fading to desert mirages, windows streaked with wanderlust. Aiden clutched a dog-eared copy of Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass, pages marked with lines on comradeship. "I sing the body electric." Harlan receded, replaced by sprawl and salt air. The anchor was a dive in West Hollywood, neon anchor glowing over scarred wood, drag queens holding court at the bar. Marcus was behind it, shaking cocktails with practiced flair, his fade grown into locks, smile breaking wide when Aiden slid onto a stool. "Aid? Holy shit." Marcus vaulted the bar, enveloping him in a hug that smelled of limes and leather. Over stolen hours, stories poured. Marcus's escape to community college, slinging drinks to fund art classes, canvases alive with abstract torsos in defiant embrace. "Riley broke nothing permanent," he said, fingers tracing Aiden's wrist scars. "He just showed me the welds." The night blurred into magic, dancing to pulsing synths, bodies pressed in the throng, Marcus's lips claiming his in a kiss that tasted of redemption. It was electric, bodies electric, but dawn brought clarity's hangover. Aiden confessed Eli, the twin ties, the Harlan half-life. Marcus nodded. "I soft. I'm not the fix. You're the whole damn car. Drive where the road calls." They parted with promises, texts, visits not endings, but expansions. Back in Kansas, the wind whipped colder, Thanksgiving looming like a family obligation. Noah and Aiden hosted a makeshift feast, turkey from the diner, Eli contributing pie with lattice hearts. Around the table, walls crumbled. Noah raised a glass. "To blood that binds, not breaks." Eli's hand under the table steadied Aiden's tremor. Love wasn't singular, but a constellation. Yet winter's bite carried teeth. Noah's shop laid him off, economy slumping like overripe corn, and tempers frayed. One blizzard night, snow piling drifts against the windows, Noah cracked open the bourbon. "What if I can't hack it straight edge? What if Dad's right? And I'm. The words hung, a confession Aiden had suspected in stolen glances. Noah's shoulders shook, the twin mirror reflecting vulnerability. Aiden pulled him close. No judgment, just hold. Then you're you. And that's enough. The embrace shifted something seismic. Noah's sobs quieted, head on Aiden's shoulder, a vulnerability cracking the facade. In the firelight, it wasn't romance but reclamation. Brothers bared, scars shared. Eli arrived at midnight, snow-dusted, sensing the shift. Family meeting? He quipped, joining the huddle, his presence weaving the trio tighter. Spring thawed the ground, but unearthed old roots. A letter arrived, Riley, from a Alabama lockup, suing for defamation. The town's pastor rallied defenses, but stress gnawed Noah's healing wounds. Aiden's article morphed into advocacy. He spoke at a Wichita support group, voice steady. They called it repair. It was demolition. But we rebuild on our terms. Marcus texted Pride, "You're a force." LA. Waits. Eli proposed the road trip, Kansas City Pride. All three of us. Noah hesitated. Crowds ain't my jam. But relented. Cane tapping resolve. The drive was catharsis. Radio blasting Springsteen anthems. Windows down. Wind whipping confessions free. Pride was a riot of color. Rainbows draping streets. Floats thumping bass. Bodies free in sequins and skin. Noah gawked, then grinned. Cane forgotten in the press. Aiden danced with Eli under confetti storms. Marcus's face on his phone a distant star. But Joy's peak plunged sharp. A call mid-parade. Noah's ex-boss. Drunk dialing threats over the layoff. Blaming Hargrove drama. Noah paled. Old rages flaring. Fuck this town. The return drive soured. Silence thick as fog. Home. Noah vanished into the garage, irony's echo, tinkering with salvaged parts till dawn. Aiden found him at sunrise, hands black with grease, eyes red. Can't run from it. The accident. The booze. It's me circling the drain. Confession cascaded. Noah's flirtations with men. Buried under bravado, the bar fight a mask for self-loathing. I sent you to Riley 'cause I saw myself in you. The fear. Aiden's arms encircled him, tears mingling. Then we face it together. No more garages. Eli joined, a quiet pillar, suggesting NA meetings in hushed tones. The pact formed therapy, not torture, real shrinks in Wichita, sessions unpacking the paternal blueprint. Summer bloomed defiant. Aiden enrolled at community college. Lit classes igniting his pen, stories of twins and tempests. Eli's tattoo gun buzzed under his skin, inking a compass rose on Aiden's forearm. Navigate true. Noah dated tentatively, a quiet guy from the group, hands calloused from farm work. Marcus visited once, crashing on the couch. For men under one roof, a tapestry of tangled affections. No jealousy, just expansion. Yet climax brewed in Harlan's undercurrents. Riley's trial hit the news, witnesses from the retreats testifying. Aiden subpoenaed. Courtroom air was thick as courtroom, judge's gavel echoing Riley's strap. Aiden took the stand, voice unwavering. He didn't fix us. He forged chains. Verdict. Guilty. 5 years. Outside, reporters swarmed. Noah shielded him. Kane a staff of solidarity. The victory party was backyard bonfire. Beers and belted ballots. Eli pulled Aiden aside. Ring glinting, simple silver band. Marry me? Not today. But when you're ready. Aiden's yes was a vow, lips sealing it. But fate's twist lingered. Fall brought Noah's checkup. Shadow on the lung. Echoes of Dad's cancer. Biopsy pending. The weight of ice. Aiden's blood ran tested, clean. But the irony twisted anew. If it's bad, Noah whispered, promise you'll live loud. For both, the biopsy results dropped like a hammer on an anvil. Clean but cracked. Early stage. Treatable with chemo and hope's grit. Noah shaved his head preemptively. Buzzcut mirroring Aiden's defiant fade. A badge of battle. Harlan rallied. Potato salads piling on the porch. Church ladies murmuring prayers sans brimstone. The pastor, reformed by the scandal, visited with apologies. We failed you boys. Let us walk this now. Chemo suites became their cathedral, for drips chanting litanies of resilience. Aiden held Noah's basin during the heaves, Eli smuggling contraband comics for distraction. Marcus wired encouragement from L.A., care packages of zines on queer survival. You're the unbreakable chassis, his note read. Noah's humor held, gallows quips masking the fear. If I go bald and gay, at least I'll fit the family brand. Aiden's world tilted. College deferred. Diner shifts doubled to cover mounting bills. Eli stepped up. Tattoo parlor booming with Pride ink. Rainbows etched eternal. Their nights were sanctuaries. Tangled sheets. Eli's whispers tracing scars. You're my north. Aid. Intimacy deepened. Bodies mapping forgiveness. But Aiden's mind wandered to Noah's fragility. The twin bond a lifeline taught. One rain-lashed afternoon. Post-treatment. Noah collapsed in the kitchen, dehydration sneak attack. Ambulance wailed. A deja vu of beeps and bleach. Doctors stabilized. But the verdict stung. Transfusion needed. Oneg match. Aiden's arm extended without hesitation. Needle a ritual now. As crimson flowed, Noah's eyes met his through the glass partition. A silent thank you thicker than words. Recovery wove new threads. Noah's quiet bow, Jake, farm-strong with a poet's soul, became fixture, reading Whitman aloud during infusions. We were together, I forget the rest. The line landed heavy, a hymn for the Hargroves. Aiden watched, envy absent. Love's plenty, not scarcity. Winter gripped, holidays a gauntlet. Christmas Eve, snow blanketing the fields like absolution. The house glowed with strung lights, Eli's handiwork, twinkle mirroring his grin. Gifts exchanged. Noah's whittled carving of twin oaks. Roots entwined. Jake's leather journal for Aiden's stories. Marcus's shipped vinyl of Born to Run. Scrawled keep driving. Dinner was chaos. Burnt goose. Laughter loud. Culminating in carols croaked off-key. New Year's dawned crisp. Resolutions whispered. Noah's sobriety milestone. Aiden's manuscript submission. Eli's parlor expansion. But undercurrents churned. A letter from Riley's lawyer. Appeal pending. Character witnesses requested. The ghost refused burial. Aiden's testimony loomed again. Stress spiking Noah's counts. Let it go, Noah urged. But Aiden couldn't. Silence was surrender. The hearing was Wichita Federal. Drive fraught with static radio and sidelong fears. Courtroom redux. Riley shackled. Eyes venomous. Aiden's stand was fire-forged. You traded souls for shekels. But we're not your scrap. We're survivors. Cross-exam baited tears. But he held. Voice a blade. Verdict held. Riley's appeal crumbled like dry rust. Outside. Press waited, National Now. Out, magazine sniffing a feature. Aiden demurred. But Noah grinned. Tell our story. The whole wrecked chassis. Back home. Catharsis. Bonfire of Riley's flyers. Flames devouring dogma. Spring equinox brought bloom. Noah's scans cleared, remission's tentative grace. Celebration spilled. Road trip to Kansas City. Jake shotgun. Eli's bike trailing. Jazz clubs pulsed. Aiden's hand in Eli's. Noah and Jake swaying slow. Whispers of wedding plans bubbled. June. Courthouse simple. Rainbows optional. Yet Aiden's compass spun. Marcus's visit overlapped. L.A. Tales intoxicating gallery shows. Queer film fests. Over porch beers. For men orbited truths. You chose here, Marcus said. No bitterness. Just fact. Aiden nodded. Eli's arm a anchor. Here chose me back. The wedding was Harlan's quiet rebellion. Backyard under oaks. Jake officiating with borrowed license. Vows exchanged, Eli's in every storm. You're my shelter. Aiden's, you inked my wild. Noah teared up. Best man toast slurred sentimental. Blood's thicker, but love's the real engine. Rings slid on. Kisses sealed amid cheers. Cake smeared like war paint. Honeymoon was micro weekend cabin in the Ozarks. Lake lapping lullabies. Eli's body was cartography. Freckles constellations. Aiden traced them, whispering gratitudes. We're the fix, Eli murmured. Post-love haze. Aiden believed it. Finally. Return thrust reality. Noah's job hunt. Jake's farm merger. Aiden's manuscript landed in Agent Twin Flames. A memoir of betrayal and blood. Queries flying to New York houses. Readings beckoned, but roots tugged. Go, Noah insisted. I'll crash with Jake. We've got this. Summer solstice party. Bonfire redux. Townies mingling with out-of-towners. Marcus arrived unannounced. Locke sun-kissed, bearing a canvas. Abstract twins in electric embrace. For the wall, he said. Eyes on Aiden soft. Hugs lingered, but boundaries held. Marcus met a sculptor. Sparks mutual. Climax crested unbidden. Midnight, under stars. Noah pulled Aiden aside. Jake hovering. Scans were a fluke. It's back. Aggressive. The words hollowed the night. Cancer's recidivism a thief. Aiden's world fractured. Knees buckling into grass. No. We beat this. Chemo round 2 was brutal. Noah wilting like drought-struck corn. Transfusions became sacrament. Aiden's blood a defiant offering. Your turn to save me, Noah joked weakly, but eyes pleaded deeper. Eli held vigils. Ink-smeared hands massaging aches. Jake read psalms sans fire. Aiden's book deal signed. Advance a lifeline for treatments. Promo tour loomed. Guilt's shadow. Right from the road, Noah urged. Tell him about the garage. The blood. Make it count. Aiden boarded the train to NYC. Heart heavy as ballast. Readings were revelation. Audiences rapt. Queer kids in front rows, eyes shining. You survived, one whispered post-event. Aiden nodded, but survival tasted bittersweet. Calls home chronicled Noah's siege. Good days grilling. Bad ones bedbound. Fall harvest brought harvest of hope. Experimental trial in Houston. slots limited. Travel grueling, but Noah qualified. Jake driving shifts. Aiden flew south mid-tour. Reunion in sterile suite. Look at you. City slick. Noah teased. For mocking frailty. Hugs fierce. Blood tests sinking twins once more. Trials alchemy worked slow miracles. Counts climbing. Color returning. Thanksgiving in Texas motel. Takeout turkey. Gratitude's toast. To garages we escaped, Noah said. Clinking plastic cups. Winter waned. Noah discharged remission redux. Scars a testament. Homecoming parade. Eli's bike escort. Harlan banners. Aiden's book launched to acclaim. Twin Flames bestseller whisper. Signings blended brothers. Noah co-reading. Voice gravelly authentic. But under triumph. Fractures mended not erased. One night, post-reading, Noah confessed over whiskey. The cancer. Stripped the bullshit. I'm bi. It always was. Jake knows. Aiden's grin split wide. Welcome to the rainbow. Bro. Spring's thaw mirrored renewal. Fields greening with promise unscarred. Noah thrived in tandem with Jake's farm. Hands in soil healing deeper wounds. Community garden project bloomed. X-retreat. Survivors tilling plots. Riley's shadow sown with seeds of solidarity. Aiden's book tour wound down. Royalties funding a trust for queer youth escapes. Eli's parlor expanded. Hargrove ink etched above door. Twins compass rose the logo. Wedded life deepened Aiden and Eli's groove. Mornings tangled. Coffee brewed strong. Eli's latest piece. A mural of intertwined oaks on the shop wall. Drew pilgrims. Stories swapped over needles. You're my muse, Eli murmured, sketching Aiden's profile. Love was verb now, active as a heartbeat. Marcus's gallery opening invite arrived L.A. Summer, abstract exhibit welded souls. Aiden debated, Eli encouraging, go. Bring back inspiration. Noah waved him off. We've got Jake's Harvest Fair. Tell Mark hi from the straight-ish brother. Flight west was wings unfurled. LA's sprawl a canvas blank. The gallery hummed electric. White stark. Sculptures twisting light. Marcus, locks crowned with laurels, pulled Aiden into orbit. You came, tour intimate. Pieces born of garage ghosts, rusted chains forged fluid. Over rooftop wine, confessions flowed. Marcus's lover, the sculptor, a steady harbor. He's good. Like your Eli, Aiden shared book highs, Noah's victories. We're all mended, different garages. Dawn flight east carried sketches, heart full. Home, Eli pounced. Missed you. Muse, their reunion was fire, bodies reaffirming vows. Harvest Fair crowned summer. Noah's booth selling whittled twins. Jake's pies gold ribbons. Aiden read excerpts under tent. Crowd wrapped, Harlan evolved. Rainbows fluttering beside flags. Post-reading. A teen approached. Eyes wide. The garage. My uncle's sending me. What do I do? Aiden knelt. Voice soft. Tell someone safe. You're not broken. Here's my number. The seed planted. Ripples starting. Fall's palette turned poignant. Noah proposed to Jake under the oaks. Ring whittled from same wood as Aiden's gift. Double wedding whispers. But they opted elopement. Wichita courthouse. Brothers best men. Vows echoed. Jake's roots with you. Noah's no more hiding. Aiden teared. Eli squeezing hand. Love's Echo Chamber. Book 2 brewed in Aiden's journal. Blood echoes. Fiction veiled truth. Twins navigating apocalypse's inner and outer. Agent buzzed. Screen interest. Indie flick? Aiden demurred. But Noah grinned. Hollywood Hargroves? Why not? Winter solstice brought snow-dusted peace. Cabin retreat. 4 couples now. Marcus and sculptor joining. Fireside tales wove tapestries. Survivals shared. Laughs loud. Aiden watched Noah. Kane retired. Jake's arm looped casual. We made it, Noah whispered, clinking mugs. Blood and better. New Year dawned. Resolutions refined. Aiden's PhD pursuit. Creative writing. Eli's mentorship program for young artists. Noah's garden nonprofit. Rebuild roots. Harlan transformed slow. Pride flags on porches. Riley's garage raised for community center. Climax's echo faded. But one final twist. Aiden's donor drive. Oneg focused. Blood Brothers campaign. Launch at the center. Hundreds queuing. Stories spilling. Noah headlined. My twins' blood saved me twice. Give yours. It's the real fix. A year cycled. Anniversaries layered. Aiden and Eli's first. Tattoo refresh. Compass glowing. Vows renewed lakeside. Ripples affirming. Noah and Jake's farm swelled. Adopted kid on horizon. Rainbow family forging. Aiden's reflection in the mirror. No longer twin shadow, but whole. Scars faint, but stories etched. Marcus's latest mail. Canvas of 4 figures. Linked not chained. Hung central. Caption. Welded free. In Harlan's heartland, under vast skies, the Hargroves thrived. Not despite the garage, but through its forge. Bloodbound, but choice liberated. Aiden penned the epilogue. We drove on. Engines true. Roads ours. Noah's laugh rang from the yard, calling Aiden to ball game. Eternal twins. Forever mended.